Good morning. Welcome to ELDOA. We're going to do a really nice ab sequence, and I want you to make sure that you work at your level. Please don't hurt your back. This work is considered intermediate to advanced. So I'm going to give lots of modifications and lots of variations so you can make it easier or harder for yourself anytime you need. So just start with an easy march in place. And think light through your joints. Give your shoulders, your arms a little shake. And the goal is to bring the heart rate up. So we begin to lift the knees, swing your arms in opposition. If you notice that your chin is up and forward, draw your chin in. Think a slight double chin, or as if your chin is being pulled towards the base of your skull. So you feel more length in your neck, axial elongation. And as that heart rate comes up, expand the breath, big inhales through the nose. And exhale through your mouth. And now keeping your head still, we'll add some arm movement. Take the arms forward and out. Arms and legs are moving at a different rhythm. It's not just you. Forward and out. I'm going to throw something different your way. Forward and up. When you go up, keep your head in position. Chin is in. Good. Lift your knees. All right, we're combining the three. Ready? Forward, out, and up. Forward, out, up. As you get it, move it faster. We've got about a minute to go. Move faster than you'd actually like to. Challenge your pace. My class is giggling, that's why I'm giggling. All right, we'll just go straight up. Spend the remainder of our time here just pulling the heart rate up. It should feel like a jog. And make sure you focus on the lift of your knees, not stamping down into the floor. Oh yeah, we're breathing. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. An easy march. Down regulate your heart with a couple deep breaths. I worked myself this morning. All right, take your legs wide. Internally rotate your thighs. You'll see your feet turn in. Bend your knees. You have a nice low center of gravity. Let's make sure we got it from the side. It's shoulders right over hips, not hips forward, right? Move your pelvis. Posterior, anterior pelvic tilt. All right, we're looking to isolate the movement in the low back. Think tailbone down, tailbone out. And just minimize your movement in your chest, in your head. So identify in your mind the vertebra behind your belly button. I refer to this a lot is L3. I'm going to refer to it even more today. So in this movement, move from L3 down. Right? Pelvis tucks under and back. Let's go 4 more. Here's 3, 2. All right, last one, just a little check-in. So we're keeping a posterior tilt. Your low back is flat. Your knees are bent. And guys, make sure your weight is not in your tiptoes. We need to take the weight into the center of the foot. Take your arms out to the sides and really stretch out as if you're stretching your arms out of the shoulder socket. Sink your shoulders down your back and draw your chin in, right? So we have our arms east to west, our spine north to south. We're looking for space. Translate your rib cage to one side and back to the center. Keep going. It is a lot to manage, so I repeat my cues. Hands are higher than the shoulder joints. And watch how my head travels with me. One more to this side. Maintain that pelvic tilt, and other side. The more you tuck the tailbone under, the more correct it is, and you'll find that it limits your range of motion. But with that type of limitation, we're stretching the correct ligaments. And take it side to side. And just warming up the low back. Keep both feet planted into the floor. And no movement through the knees. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stop in the center. We recheck the knees, recheck the pelvis. Take one hand behind your thigh, the other arm overhead. Add a side bend. So I've got one hand reaching to the ground, one hand reaching to the sky. It does not matter how low you go. It's about the top side. So you're lifting, you're lengthening out through your rib cage. Stretching the lats. One more, and then we're just going to take it right over to the other side. It's just a little side bend. Be gentle. Three more. Here's 2. And 1. Come down to the floor. I'm going to move my camera. Good morning. Okay, here we go. I'm going to show you a lot of these at an angle. So this is our ab sequence. Take care of your back, please. Put your heels in line with your hips. Hold on to your knees. And we're going to find a seated gravity line. That means you are as vertical as you can be, as if your spine is against a wall here. So I'm going to show you from the side. Make sure that your ribs are not forward, right? We just want to draw those back. Other people will have a problem with dropping the pelvis, right? So some of you will need to sit more upright as if you're sitting onto your pubic bone, exactly. And then draw your ribs back a little bit, Trisha. Yeah, there you go. So that's you. Move the head without moving the body. Take your head forward and pull that chin in towards the base of your skull, right? We're not letting the spine fall. Take your head forward and pull your chin in. One more time, head forward, chin in, and you can focus about 5 or 6 feet in front of you, and that's going to keep your chin well to the floor. Lean yourself back just slightly, right? You've got the chin with you. You've got the grip of your arms. Open your knees just slightly and move the pelvis the same way we did before. We're isolating the low back. So you rock back onto your sacrum, forward onto your pubic bone. And yeah, use the arms a bit to help you. Just make sure you keep that small lean. I'm going to show the incorrect way just to make sure we know. I don't want you to pull your torso forward like that, right? I want you to move just through the low back and pelvis. Perfect. And sometimes that chin will tend to get ahead of us, right? So watch that. I'm going to ask you to maintain the neck as you go. And I really want you to press your feet downward into the mat because I'm demanding. Very good. So this is our first level. We're going to add on by taking the arms straight forward, make stop hands, externally rotate the arms. Now, just for a moment, come back into that little lean. So we're working the abs statically, right? Sometimes we're dynamic, sometimes we're static. So reach the arms forward, grow through the spine. Maybe your wrist can be over your knees. Keep them that way and move the pelvis. We go 1/3 back and unroll at the top, right? We're still rolling and unrolling. Now, if you're real clicky in your hips, that is your clue that you've got to open the knees a lot more. Opening your knees is going to keep you out of your hip flexors for the moment. Never ever holding your breath. I prefer an inhale on the way down and an exhale to lift. Good. Really reach through your arms. Make your lats do some work here. You can always stay here, or we can roll all the way down to the back. The back of your head does hit the mat. Your arms are reaching up. Nod your chin, and we're going to roll up. Your head moves with your body. Right? So we're unrolled at the top. Very good. And roll it up. Okay, now for that breath, inhale, rolls you back. Exhale, rolls you up. And you're right, the breath does make it a little harder. But exhaling also allows your spine to move. It allows it to bend. We're going to go 5 more. I really want this controlled, but once you have it, move faster. Here's 4. You can always practice just at the top of your range. Right? Give me 1 more. Pay close attention to that head. And we're going to end on your back. So roll all the way down. Very nice. Arms are by your sides. So here you are in a neutral spine position. If you will flatten your back, I'm going to say that you're pushing L3 down. So L3 behind your navel is touching the floor. You'll notice in this tilt, your tailbone is up. It points up a little bit. Okay, just relax it and do it again. Push L3 to the floor. The tailbone is lifted. Do it 1 more time. Release. And push L3 down. That's the action of the next movement. Cross your arms. You're going to hold on to opposite shoulder and bring your knees into a true tabletop. Knees are directly over your hips. Feet are flexed. The goal is to lift to the same level, lift to L3 and lower down. So it's a small pelvic curl. It's a little lift and lower. If you're straining your neck, you're doing too much. We're working the muscles below the belly button. Think of pushing your knees straight up rather than allowing a big swing or a rock. Here's 5, 4, 3, work with control, and 1. Good. Straighten one leg to the ceiling, flex your foot. Your knees are side by side, but not touching. Same movement here. Go 10 and 9. I even want you to control the down. There you go. Here's 7 and 6, 5. Did this yesterday. Some days are harder than others. Here's 3, 2, and switch it out. Good. Push that heel to the ceiling. Just think foot up and up. Here's 7, 6. Push through that straight leg, guys. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees, return your feet to the floor. Reach your arms up, and we'll roll all the way up to a seated position. Okay, finding that same place we started, feet are plugged into the mat, knees are open. Find your small lean back. And just go back to the first third. Rock your pelvis back and rock it forward, just to remind the body of the position that we should be in. All right, bring it up, static hold. You're gonna hold on to a shoulder with your hand. There you go, just touch your shoulder. And the straight arm is gonna go directly out. So the fingers are peeled towards the floor and you're strongly pushing, exactly. So you're gonna roll through that same position. Okay, rolling and unrolling. And we're gonna add a rotation in that same range we just found. So you'll go back and add a pure rotation, right? So one shoulder goes forward, one shoulder goes back. I'm never coming completely upright. Very good, really turn your rib cage and lead with the arm. Here's 4 and 3. Now you can do this with a full roll back and a full roll up, but that's not me today, right? This is enough. All right, bring it to the other side. Find a little static hold. Remember to open your knees. It's super important. Just find the range for yourself first. Push hard through that arm. Push through the shoulder. There you go. All right, same range, same amount of down and up, but we're gonna add the rotation. So you'll curl back and pure rotation. So less up and down, more rotate the shoulders. Yeah, really reach with that arm. Reach all the way across your body. Trisha, go. There you go.
Already did an ab workout.
Here's 5. She did an ab work already today. Sorry, not sorry. Here's 3. And 2. And 1. Let's roll all the way down to your back. Very good. Okay. Same L3 bridge. We're about halfway there. We're not even there yet. So you're going to give me a lazy cross, right? I'm not like, you know, sitting at the table with a full cross. I'm not in this either, right? I'm just halfway across. Use the bottom knee to pick up the top leg in the table. Okay, the bottom leg's our driver. Take your arms out with your palms up. Chin is down. Now it's a little bit of a lift to L3, pelvic lift. The important part of this one is that the bottom leg is doing the driving. Make your top leg as lazy as you can. Right? L3 is not, it is not a big movement. I'm just picking up the sacrum and setting it down. Okay, if you've got this one, we're gonna add a small element of rotation. So we're thinking bottom knee towards the opposite shoulder. So it's a little lift and a little rotation. Okay? And a lot of times I have to make this even smaller. That's it. Breathe. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg down, bring both feet down. Now reset your spine. Push L3 to the mat. No arch in your back. Give me the lazy cross. The bottom leg picks up the top leg and we work. I'm just going to work straight through the center for a few. And then I'm going to add the element of rotation, knee to opposite shoulder. Very good. Breathe. Here's 5. Control it. Go 4. And 3, 2, and 1. Bring your feet down. Bring your arms all the way up. We're going to roll all the way up to a seated position. And I'm going to directly face the side to show you this one. Okay, you have options. I've shown you progressions. Grab your knees. Find that little lean back. Very good. Touch one shoulder. Take the arm forward. Very good. So find your range. And if your back is straining, you're just going too big. You're exceeding your level. Okay. Now take it back, add the rotation and hold. I'm going to take the top shoulder a little bit towards the knee. I'm going to add a small side bend and then bring it back to center. So we take the hips back. We rotate just like before, and I'm going to add a little tiny side bend. Take it back. We'll go slow today. Rotate. Add a little bit of flexion through the waist. And then we make it look kind of like one thing.
Kind of.
Good. And just to show you modifications, you can always use a hand behind your knee. So I'm flexing my right side. I'm doing a little side bend with a rotation. Right? Now give me that strong rotation with it. Work at your level. Give me 2 more. All right, other side. We're going to reset. I know. Plant your feet, open your knees, opposite shoulder. You'll be able to see it a little better on this side. Please take your chin with you. Just find the base. Find the base movement. All right, if your low back is bugging, just don't go so low. Okay, let's add that rotation. Pure rotation to start. Hold. I'm going to add a little side bend. Left rib cage to left hip and bring it back through the center. And one side seemed really clear and obvious. The other side, not so much. Good. Let's go 5. And 4. Push hard with the straight arm. Here's 3. Here's 2.
I think I was doing it wrong again, so.
And 1, that's correct. You have it just right. Sit all the way up. Come on to your hands and knees. It was hard for me to tell from that angle. Yeah. Okay, so elbows directly underneath you. You can interlace your hands, and I like to take that bottom pinky and tuck it in. Press your forearms into the mat, and I want you to really push your shoulder blades apart. So look up here. If your shoulders are sinking, that is not a good position. I want you to really drive your forearms into the floor. Walk your knees back, right? The action is going to look like a forward, like a half plank, and a this. So position your knees accordingly, right? Yeah, a this. Yeah, that's the only way to say it, right? So shoulders over elbows. Tuck your tailbone a lot, right? Sometimes I'll call this a rib to hip connection, right? Frontal ribs, frontal hips. You're going to take your hips back without losing that rib to hip connection. So your back does not get to arch here. Use your abdominal muscles to glide forward, shoulders over elbows. Okay, so take it back again, pushing down through your wrists. Curl that tailbone and bring it forward. Now, this is one that you could either just kind of do the arms and legs and make it look good, or you can really do the thing and work your abs, right? Strong rib to hip connection. If you've got it and it feels good, come into your plank and lift your knees. Set your knees down and take the hips back. Okay, 3 more, we're gonna make them count. Really scoop that tummy up and in, think navel to spine. 2 more. The full plank is optional. And 1 more, I'm gonna take it forward, I'm gonna hold it right here, right? Directly on top of my elbows, tail is tucked. Dip 1 hip downward towards the floor. It's a little bitty rotation in the pelvis, and bring it back to neutral. Dip the other hip and bring it back to neutral. It's a rotation in the pelvis, not a lean of the booty side to side, right? So it's a little rotation and center, rotation and center, okay? If you are advanced, if you're super strong here and this feels good, no back pain, you can straighten your legs and do the same movement. But be intentional, obliques, rotate the hips. Think of rotating your belly button a little bit, not your booty, belly button, there it is. Here's 4. Tuck under hard, guys, 3, 2, and 1. Make your way down onto your belly. Separate your feet just a little bit. Take your hands kind of like a wide V with your elbows bent. You're just going to push off your arms and stretch your chest forward. Now, this doesn't have to be a big back bend, but I want you to send your breastbone away from your belly button. And lower it down. 2 more, we're treating this as a stretch here. So my pubic bone is down on the floor. I'm lifting my rib cage and heart. And lower it down 1 more time. It's a nice controlled extension. And lower it down. Now, just for a moment, you can stack your hands and rest your forehead on your hands and just listen for the cues here. So let your body completely relax. Let your stomach just spread out on the floor. Right? Don't get too relaxed. We're not done. But we're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing on your belly. So here's what happens when you inhale, your belly expands against the floor. It spreads out. As you exhale, you pull your belly button away from the floor. It may not leave physically, but that's the action. So your inhale is a belly expansion. You push the belly against the floor, and your exhale, you pull the belly button away from the floor as much as you can. We're going to slow those down. Take an inhale. Pause at the top of your inhale. You'll exhale. Scoop the tummy in and pause at the end of the exhale. You have 3 more rounds of breath. Do not hurry. Being able to expand your abdominal wall is just as important as being able to contract it. Right? No expansion means no contraction. I'll meet you seated for our ELDOA. Yes, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna turn my mat. All right, so you can consider ab work as being somewhat compressive for the low back, so that's why this is so magical. We're gonna take that compression out with some ELDOA postures. So ELDOA for L4, L5, lower spine. Bring your heels in line with your hips, knees are at 90 degrees. Keep your legs relaxed and just use your arms to help you lift up into your tallest seated position. Okay, we've been here before. The ribs are in, right on top of my sit bones. And then we finish that off with a little bit of double chin. Okay, our whole spine is completely flat. Flex your feet, really spreading out your toes as much as you can, and rotate your big toe downward towards the floor. That's eversion. Okay, that's your leg position. Kind of shift side to side on your sit bones so you can feel when you're even. I imagine a beam or a board from sit bone to sit bone that's holding me down to the floor nice and flat. Take both arms forward, make your stop hands. Externally rotate through the arms and pull your chin in. We're just going to take one arm up. One arm raises overhead. Take that arm and really push up, glide the shoulder up. And this arm, the forward arm, glide the shoulder forward. Okay, notice if your head changed position or maybe you leaned off your beam. Just breathe. Now this is definitely not ab work. We want the belly to expand. And that helps the spine stretch. Good, take both arms forward, hands directly in front of your shoulders. Take the other arm up. And just manage your spine. Good. Always watch for rotation here. This likes to happen, so bring it back in. And grow the arms upward and outward. Nice, keep the feet. Take both arms up. We've got a 1 minute hold, and I do have a class to help keep me honest here. Really get all the way upright on your sit bones. Open your knees. Imagine your last two ribs. You stay in position. I'm going to show you. Your bottom two ribs, rib 12 is here. Imagine your bottom of your ribs lifting away from your pelvis. You have a line across your back holding you up. Now glide those arms up. I'm guessing we're more than halfway. Where are we, guys?
Halfway.
Halfway. There it is. All right, breathe. 60 seconds. Just 60 seconds, right? Chin is in. Let's be more mechanical here. Open the knees and push up with the arms. You do have to work with 100% effort to get the stretch where you want it.
10 seconds.
Here's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, keep the arms on one, just relax one foot, relax the other foot, relax one arm, other arm, our spine is still tall. We're gonna jump up and do T12, which is lower thoracic spine. Take one leg out to the side. If you kind of put your hands where your bottom ribs are and then wrap your thumbs around to the back, that's about the level of T12. All right, so the knee that's bent is relaxed, the leg that's straight, we're gonna flex the foot and internally and externally rotate at the hip joint. Okay, now remember that beam under your pelvis that glues the sit bones down. Does that make sense to y'all? I think that makes sense to me. Okay, good. So that rotation is coming from the hip joint. Okay, now the next time you find an internal rotation, that means the toe turns in, the knee turns in, we're gonna stay right there. Reach the leg out, grow the leg outwards, keeping the sit bone glued to the floor. Take your hand, put it upright on the straight leg. The other hand can be like a handle. Very good. Find that lift through your spine. The pelvis is nice and even, like you're in between two panes of glass. The bent leg arm is gonna come forward. Correct your head. If I had a little string, I'd pull you upward towards the ceiling. Very nice. And we'll finish with the arm. It comes up. We've got 1 minute here. And I just want you to just be aware of the shape you've made and stay in it. Any corrections you make from this point are going to be small. They're going to add intensity to the movement. So, or the pose, right? It's not movement. So bring your hips to the floor. Your sit bone touches the floor, and you're gonna reach out a little further with the straight leg. Okay, you're making a link. Now make a link with the other sit bone and the arm, the top arm. Now find that line of energy. We're pushing the leg out and lifting the shoulder up. Good. And we breathe, belly breathing. Diaphragmatic breath is something I can see. As you inhale, you grow taller. As you exhale, you maintain. Good. Yeah, we just hold patience until my class tells me we're coming out.
I wasn't counting this time.
Final 5, 4, 3, we're silly today, 2, and 1. Bring that arm down. Now look, to get to the other side, you want to find this evenness, right? Because we want the heel in line with the sit bone. Take that other leg out, and look, if you're like ballerina person over here, make sure you don't move the pelvis with your wide leg here. Okay, pelvis is still. All right.
That's a funny look you gave me.
Flex your foot.
Funny just gets one.
Internally, externally rotate at the hip joint. Yeah, there we go. Manage your spine. Just feel that motion of the hip. And I know you're going to feel your quad for a while, right? And it does get easier. All right. Big internal rotation of your leg. Decoap the hip. Reach the leg out of the hip joint. Hand goes upright on the thigh. Okay. I definitely want you to feel that beam across your sit bones. Good. Bent leg arm comes forward. Now this side, I can see it on the Zoom. I rotate, I'm going to rotate forward again. Breastbone forward. Take that arm up. Okay. And you made a shape. We're just in it. Really reach up with the shoulder, right? With the intention of stretching your back right where I showed you. Good. Deep belly breaths. When you breathe, you'll find that you can get so much deeper into it. Okay, chin is in. If you have any head tilt, take that out. Now start to make that link between your sit bones, that beam, and lift up through the arm. Now feel that energy go up through the arm, all the way out through the heel. My knee is rotated in. If the knee is rotated in, that means the hip is rotated in. Final 15 seconds is going to be a big push for us here. So really lift with the arm as you push out with the leg. We need both. And we need breath. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Relax the arm, relax the leg, cross both legs. And find your center here. Find your gravity line. We're just going to practice with the head here. Put your fingers at the most prominent bone in your low neck. That's C7. We'll keep the spine, take the head forward just a little, and draw your chin in from the place you're touching, right? So it's different from saying skull. So we'll go head forward and then chin in. Right? So if I say pull C6 backwards, that's what I mean. Pull that bone backwards. So we just practice. Okay, good. Now put your hands at your chest as you draw C6 backwards. Good. Keep your head in that same position and move your arms slowly up. You'll find that at some point you lose the head. And I just want you to identify that point and stop there. Okay, in a perfect world, we would all be up here, but you probably saw my head move. So I'm going to pull my chin in and work myself a little bit harder. Good. Touch the fingertips together. Reach your arms up. And right here, we got to reach for it. Glide those shoulders up, but keep that head in position. And I want to show you this. So even if your arms can't go fully up, your head is still in position. Eventually the arms catch up. Okay. Work right here. Now your lungs are a bit constricted when your arms are overhead. So breathe outward like you're breathing through your side ribs or your armpits. This is T6, big posture movement here. Lift up through the arms, pull that chin in. If your ribs are popping out, draw those slightly backwards and glide the shoulders up. Very mechanical here. Really reach the fingertips up with everything you've got. Yes, this takes muscle. We're gonna breathe our way through that last 15 seconds. It's a little mantra. As you inhale, you grow taller. On your exhale, you maintain. Stay with it. Hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep your spine, just bring your arms down. Now, if I ask you here to pull C6 back and lengthen your neck upwards, you could do that. All right, lie down on your back. We have one more. We'll do one ELDOA for the C-spine. So lie on your back with your knees bent and your hands resting on your stomach. Elbows are relaxed against the floor. Bring your chin towards the base of your skull. So I could say to tuck your chin, just make sure you're not forcing your head to the floor. This is a very gentle movement. And glide your shoulders away from your ears. Okay, so I want you to relax a little bit and just feel for the cues. Flatten your back to the floor. Drop your chin. Can you just create, it's a micro movement, some length in your neck, right? Like the crown of my head is being pulled one way and my tailbone's being pulled the other. Okay, so we're just creating some space between the vertebra of the neck. Good. Take your arms by your sides and turn your palms up. Eyes are open and down, right? You're looking towards your knees. Listen carefully. Lift your arms just to a little hover off the floor and bend at the wrists. Your fingers are going to stretch towards the ground. You're opening your hands. Now push your arms forward with everything you've got as you send your head away from your body. Okay, now if you tried to stick your chest out and get that done, drop the sternum towards the floor. It's all about length here. Open your hands a lot. Okay, if you practiced the ELDOA before, you can bend one knee, pull it into your chest, bend the other knee, pull it into your chest. Just remember that it's not ab work. Push strongly through your arms as you send the crown of your head away. Think of sending the base of your skull away from your hands. No neck pathologies. If you have no disc injury, you can do this next movement. Drop your chin a little bit more and lift your head 3 inches off the floor. Right? 3 inches is not a lot. Keep pushing forward with the arms, drawing your chin towards the base of your skull. Final 10 seconds here to work. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop one foot to the floor. If it's there, drop the other. Rest one hand on your stomach, other hand, and relax all. That doesn't feel somewhat good, you're using too much force. Turn your head side to side, gently, gently. Okay, we have one myofascial stretch for the quads. I'm going to show you 2 variations because this is not accessible to everyone. So to stretch the quads, one of the movements that you can do is grab your ankle and bring your knee in line with your hip. Okay, if you're here, make sure your tailbone is tucked under as much as it can be. All right, strong posterior tilt. If you can lie on your stomach and grab your ankle, even better. Okay, so you can rest your forehead on your hand. Pull the heel towards the glute. Bring your knees together. Do what works for your body here. And I'm going to drive my knee away. So push that knee, lengthen your quad. It's a 30-second hold. Press your pubic bone down into the floor, even if you're on your side, big posterior tilt. And just give me one more breath. Release slowly and take it over to the other side. Knees together, big posterior tilt. Even if you're I'm super flexible here, but my action is not cranking my knee in, it's reaching my knee away. Okay, make sure you keep your head in line with your body. No rotation in the spine, and we work. Give me one more breath. And slowly release. Switch legs. This time, only if you have the flexibility, you can hold onto your leg with the opposite hand. Okay, just make sure that you don't pull the leg across. You're still pulling the heel directly towards the glute. Okay, so just a progression, just a variation. Knees together. Good. This should not cause any back pain. If it does, lie down on your side. Deep breaths here. Myofascial stretch is tough work. It's hard work. Y'all are doing great. Okay, slowly release. Other side, either same hand or opposite, right? And I'm pulling the heel to the same side glute. It's always better to grab the ankle instead of the top of the foot, but get what's accessible to you. Knees together. We want to spend all 30 seconds in a deep stretch. Release, change legs one more time, and I'm going to give you one more variation. Now, I'm going to hold on with my opposite hand, but it doesn't matter. You could hold on with the same hand and we can do the same thing. So I'm holding on with the opposite. Take your free arm. You're going to reach it forward, do that ELDOA hand. So now I'm creating a line from my hand through my knee to stretch. Okay, I'm going to look away from you for a moment. You're going to look away from the straight arm and work. Try not to rotate, keep your sternum down. Two more breaths. Slowly release, and I'll walk you through that one more time. So hold on to the opposite if you've got it. The free arm reaches forward, my fingers are away from my face, and I'll turn my head, and there's the stretch. And just one more time, I love to repeat myself, knees together, pubic bone down, big posterior pelvic tilt. If you feel better, head to the floor, fine. Find that distance between hand and knee and hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release. Make your way onto your hands and knees. We'll take 3 rounds of cat-cow, and then you're done for your Friday. So extend the chest forward, drop your belly. Round your spine into your cat, full spinal flexion. Inhale to extend. And exhale into cat one more time. All right, nice work, everybody. Thank you very much. I'll end the meeting here, and I hope you'll have a wonderful weekend. I lost my host.